When was Nigeria first born? On Independence Day or way before the British flags? You see, long before kingdoms, before empires, there was Nok, a civilization so advanced that they made iron and sculpted clay heads more than 2000 years ago. But then, they vanished. No war, no invasion, only silence. This is the story of the forgotten kingdom of Nok. Though forgotten, but the earth still whispers its secrets. Watch till the end to uncover why this ancient mystery matters more today than ever. Long before Nigeria had its name, before kingdoms rose, before European ships touched its shores, the middle belt of West Africa was already alive with human brainers. In the shadowed valleys and quiet hilltops of what we now call Kaduna, Plateau, and Nasarawa states, early communities tied the knot, shaped tools from stone, and learned the secrets of fire and metal. These people were not lost tribes, they were pioneers, and from their roots, one of West Africa's oldest known civilizations would rise, Nok. It is not a myth, not a rumor, but a people whose art, science, and memory still lie buried under our feet. In 1928, near the village of Nok, a tin miner dug into the earth and found not treasure but history. A sculpted terracotta head searing, symbolic, staring through time. No one knew what to call it. No one knew what it meant, but it wasn't alone. Over the next decades, more were found. Heads, figures, hollow-eyed warriors, dignified priests, women in elaborate hairstyles, animals with spiritual patterns, all made of terracotta, all other than anything ever seen in sub-Saharan Africa. Carbon dating would later show that the Nok people lived between 1005 BC and 300 AD, that is, over 3000 years ago. To put it simply, the Nok culture of Nigeria was already ancient when Rome of Italy was young. The Nok were more than sculptures. They were organized, advanced, and spiritual. They lived in plant compounds made of clay and stone. They cultivated millet, sorghum, and yams, early farming techniques that fed families and fostered trade. They raised goats and cattle. They built furnaces for iron long before most of Africa knew how to smelt it. The Nok were among the earliest users of iron in West Africa. They weren't taught from outside, they discovered it themselves. They shaped spears, hoes, knives, and tools for farming, defense, and ceremony. Their blacksmiths were not mere laborers, they were mystics, holders of sacred knowledge, and their potters, those who shaped the terracotta, were more than artists. They were memory keepers, carrying the essence of life into fire-baked earth. What did the statues mean? No one knows for sure, but some believe they represented ancestors' guides for the dead. Others say they were used in shrines or ceremonies, calling on spirits for fertility, rain, or protection. Many had holes in their heads, possibly used for pouring libations. Some sat in high places, while others are buried with the dead. Their faces weren't blank, they were stylized expressions of spiritual identity. No two Nok statues were the same, just as no two humans are. This was a people who saw life as sacred and knew how to capture it. Then suddenly, they vanished. By around 300 AD, the Nok sculptures stopped appearing. The furnaces went cold. The settlements emptied. The statues were buried under dust, and time moved on. What happened? There was no recorded war, no great migration story, no enemy's conquest. Some say it was climate change, prolonged drought that made farming impossible. Others suggest soil exhaustion, overuse of resources, or disease. Whatever it was, the Nok did not die in flames. They faded quietly and mysteriously, and the forest grew over them. Today, the Nok civilization is still being uncovered piece by piece. Archaeological sites in Taruga, Samundukia, Pangwari, and Nok Valley continue to yield iron tools, pottery shards, burial relics, and entire figurines. Sadly, many of Nok's greatest treasures are no longer in Nigeria. During the 1970s and 1980s, grave looters and black market traders sold priceless Nok sculptures to foreign collectors. Nok heads now sit in European and American museums, labeled, studied, admired, but disconnected from the land that created them. The soil remembers, but the statues have been stolen. Did the Nok people survive in other forms? Some researchers suggest that today's Gwari, Jukun, Berom, or Taro peoples may descend at least in part from Nok ancestors. The customs, craftsmanship, and oral traditions of many Middle Belt communities still carry echoes of Nok's innovation. Their knowledge may have flowed south and east, influencing later cultures like Ife, Igbo-Ukwu, or Benin. We may never know for sure, but in every carved knife, in every furnace uncovered, Nok speaks. The Nok people were not forgotten tribes. They were not waiting to be discovered. They were already something. Their terracotta art predates the Benin bronzes, the Ife heads, and the Shungbo's Eredo. They show that before European colonizers wrote about civilizing Africa, Africa was already crafting civilizations. We often start Nigeria's story from colonialism, but that is a recent chapter. The story began thousands of years ago with Nok, with farmers who shaped fire, with artists who shaped memory, with ancestors who shaped Nigeria. In the hills of central Nigeria, the winds still whisper, children still play near buried furnaces, farmers still till the earth where kings once walked, and somewhere another Nok head still sleeps, waiting to be found. When we speak of Nigeria's origin, let us not begin with flags or borders. Let us begin with Nok, the clay, the fire, and the memory, because Nigeria was not born in 1914. It was carved, fired, and buried long before. The Nok did not disappear. They became soil, and in the soil, they still speak.